the bowl games, can they still matter? I
Nah,
wish they could. I
nah.
wish they could.
I don't know how they. I don't know how you bring that back. And it's interesting when you see a team opt out of a bowl game. I think
Especially Notre Dame.
I probably have a different feel about the Notre Dame situation than some. Uh, about I guess my only question would be, if this was the players making this decision, then I'm absolutely fine with it. If the
Yeah.
players decide you remember before we had to go to the Liberty Bowl, we as players had gotten together and there was question of, do we really want to do this? Do we really want to go to Memphis and play in the Liberty Bowl? And I was a redshirt freshman at the time. Ultimately, we decided to go, but let's be honest, we didn't want to be there.
No, it was beat Michigan, go to the Rose Bowl. It was
Yes.
a different era. If you lose, there wasn't a Citrus Bowl or like go play a big time SEC opponent. You slid all the way down. It was either you go to the Rose Bowl or you go to the Liberty Bowl.
Yeah,
You
we
play
went to the
airport.
Liberty Bowl, and we
And we
didn't
went
want to be there.
No, it was a 16-13 close game. Ohio State ended up losing.
Yeah.
So instead of we're this close to going to the Rose Bowl, instead you go to the Liberty Bowl. And as much as we love bowls, there's such disappointment from being the Rose Bowl taken away.
Yes.
And it was pretty much every player in the locker room was kind of like, for real?
Could you, so taking that situation, can you imagine Notre Dame's feelings after yesterday? Now, if the players decide, like if administration decides, that's different to me. But if the players in that locker room decided, we don't want to do this, we went from same scenario you just spoke about the Rose Bowl. They went from playing in the playoff to have a chance to go win a national championship or go to some bowl. I could understand if the players decided, we don't want to do
And we have
this.
no idea. Yeah, we have no idea
Yeah,
if
that's the part
how
we don't know, like
you
who
know,
made the decision.
and I think you and I have nothing but respect for Marcus Freeman, obviously, know him
Absolutely.
well. Pete Bavacqua, their athletic director, know him. I mean, two of the classiest guys probably in the industry, and I don't know all the details. I know the optics of it aren't great. You love to see Notre Dame always in the postseason. And I know they're frustrated. I don't know what went into that decision other than, you assume that whether it was the players or a combination of the players and the coach and the administration, I have no idea. But they're entitled to do whatever they want to do. But I think it's another example of where we are. It's almost I think for players, it's a CFP or bust. I picture if you're a great basketball player and you play at Kansas or Duke, and your goal is to go to the NCAA tournament and be a 1 seed or a 2 seed, and you end up getting left out, and now you're going to the NIT. That's basically what college football, I feel like, is becoming for some fans, some players. Not for me. I just because of our past, our background. I think there's still something really cool when you're sitting around during the holidays and you flip on, and there's whoever Arkansas playing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Against,
but
Wisconsin.
is it really Arkansas nowadays though? Because of the opt-outs, because of
no, I know.
You know what I mean? So you almost don't really get that same experience. Like this started years ago with the opt-outs.
I think Christian McCaffrey was one of the first guys I can remember doing.
Yeah, even before the portal started, the opt-outs of bowl games. And then it got to a point where, all right, so let's just say Notre Dame decided to go and play in a bowl game. Mm-hmm. You'd imagine that they would have some guys, seniors, that would say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get ready for the draft. I'm not going to play in this game. Then are we really seeing so it is different now.
Yeah.
I do think we still hold on to the way it used to be because we just are huge fans of the sport. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times are fans of the sport to the point where we want it to just be great. We want it to be great at all times. And it's not all the time great. And it wasn't all the time great then. But what we look at now, and this is why this situation, how it played out in the room, in the committee room, and the way this played out is not because I care who gets in, but I do care about the process by who gets in. and I care about what this means to these young men. Like even for Miami to have to go through the last month or so of what they're dealing with, I feel like it all could have been better, a more clear path for everyone involved, which makes it less questionable. And so I don't know if we can ever get back the amount of money that is being spent now, not just inside the locker room, but TV rights, all these things. I don't know if we can ever go back to, I agree with you 100%. It's like getting into the NCAA tournament versus getting into the NIT. And you can see teams saying, nah, I am not going to go to the NIT. You see it happen all the time in basketball. And it feels like that's where we are. I don't know how we ever get away with it. With the amount of money being spent at this point, I don't know how you get back to anything that looks like what we're used to.
Yeah, it's for those of us that are traditionalist, like Coach just said, or you might have said nostalgic. You know, you think back to what I loved about bowl games, beyond being a player, you know, and the experience that we had as players. I think as a fan, since I was a kid, there was something always intriguing to me about the regional matchups.
Absolutely.
You know, if you were a Big Ten fan and you prided yourself on the Big Ten plays really good football, and you got a matchup of Michigan against Florida in a Citrus Bowl, there was a lot of like, okay, this will be a really good opportunity to see who plays better football. If you're an SEC fan and you're tired of hearing about the Big Ten, you know, it was Georgia against Wisconsin or Penn State or whatever it might be, or the Big Ten and what used to be the Pac-12 or Pac-10. Those were always, there was something about those games. It was cool to see. Okay, let's track what conferences. Oh, hey, Big Ten's 5-1. You know, let's go. Or they're 1-5. Oh, well, you know. But it was something really cool about that. But that was a different era, a different time. So, you know, we can be frustrated by that, but it's where we are, and I think
where we are.
We have to kind of accept that and understand it and try our best to. You know, because we don't want to live in an era. It's like, you guys need to understand these bowl games. It's like, shit, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
but you and I can talk about how much we love them, and I'll still watch almost every one of these games. You know,
yeah, that and if you could actually figure out who it is you call to fix the calendar. If you,
yeah, I don't know. I always ask that. Everybody's talking about fix this, fix that. I'm like, cool. Who do we need to call about fixing that? We don't call the NCAA for anything.
Well, that's because you guys been chopping their knees for it. I mean, it is like
the Supreme Court did that. Brett Kavanaugh did that.
I mean, we have nobody. Who you going to call?
So